What's up, YouTube fragrance family? Tommy with Studio Sense here. Thanks so much for pulling up today's video and checking it out. What was a new release just a few short months ago is Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum. I don't know, it's kind of a mouthful, but it's kind of the graduation of the ocean DNA. It's obvious by looking at the Prada Luna Rossa line that Prada saw untapped potential in the form of pretty much the elements, one could say. Earth, air, water, obviously, but maybe not so obviously, ocean was their attempt at an aquatic fragrance, or at least that's what you would think when it first came out in 2021. We're going to talk about the evolution of Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, and then we're going to look closely at the latest flanker, Ocean Le Parfum. Got that and more coming up, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys, to my first impressions of Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum, the latest flanker and the third of the ocean fragrances. Now, to better understand this fragrance, I think it's going to be helpful to go back in time just by a few short years. 2021, when the first Luna Rossa Ocean came out as an EDT, it had iris, lavender, I think mugwort, saffron, vetiver, and a particular note of suede. So the original EDT started the whole aquatic journey with a little bit of a musky suede in there that was really pleasant and is really pleasant to the nose once you smell it on you for a while. That open is a bit but once it dries down, it's a really nice aquatic fragrance. Then along comes the Eau de Parfum in 2023. It too carries that same formula, deepens it a bit. It adds a little bit of an elegant twist in there in the form of frankincense. There's like a grapefruit fruity opening, and then it adds in the heart a bit of a twist with a combination of frankincense and vanilla, and that amber extreme in the base, which is going to be in all of them. So we get a deeper, darker heart, and though suede isn't listed as a note, you could still pick it up in the EDP. Now, here we are with the new Le Parfum, which is the latest in the line. So before we break down the notes, tell you what's in it, compare it to the first two, let's take a quick look at that presentation. Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum's box is kind of a gradient. From the middle of the box, deep navy blue, going to the top, it becomes a dark maroon red. The Prada line/logo starts from the middle of the box and goes up vertically and says Prada. Below that, it says Ocean, Luna Rossa, and then below that in red, Le Parfum. It is a 100 ml bottle or 3.3 fluid ounces. The right side of the box contains a QR code that says Experience Luna Rossa. Scan to enter the Luna Rossa experience, and that is at the bottom, pradabeauty.com. The left side of the box shows a refillable diagram, so the bottle is refillable. It says refill sold separately, and below that a smaller QR code for additional information about that. The back of the box is packed with information, including the ingredients listing, address information, some various stickers, a UPC, and a small QR code. Similar information is on the bottom of the box, as well as a batch code of 38X as in X-ray, N as in Nancy, 00D Delta. The bottle itself has a deep lacquered epoxy look to it. The bottle mimics that gradient on the front of the box, insofar as the middle of the bottle starts out a deep navy blue, but then gets darker red/maroon as it reaches the top. It says Prada in white lettering against that red background. On the bottom, it says Ocean Luna Rossa Le Parfum in red. The bottom of the bottle has an adhesive sticker with size and concentration along with that batch code. As far as presentations go, it's a great looking bottle, and if I would have to choose a favorite, I think I like this bottle a bit better than the first two. You can see it's a visual graduation of color and materials, of the fusion of both style and substance together, and they kind of graduate to this point, meaning this one is probably, visually speaking, the best looking of them. Although those colors together, it's really hard to take two dark colors, mold them together and make them work and synthesize like they do in this bottle. So kudos to the creator of the bottle style. I think it's really snazzy looking, classy. But it is a bit confusing, as is the formula in terms of, is this supposed to be an aquatic fragrance? The answer to that question is not only in the name, but also in the aroma. Yes, it is an aquatic fragrance, but it's more than than that. It's an aquatic fragrance with a particular take on a certain focal point or note or two. In the case of the first one, it was that water molecule along with that suede note. The second one was a combination of vanilla and amber along with the suede that was, I'm sure, carried over, even though it wasn't listed as a note. And in this one, it's pretty much the same. But before we go into what it smells like, what about the notes that make up the formula? Ocean Les Parfums classification is that of an ambery fougere. Ocean Les Parfums starts with a vigorous top note of lemon essence, providing a refreshing scent. In the heart, the freshness combines with and is contrasted by the magnetic sophistication of a saffron accord. The base note has an oak wood nuance, adding a leathery, smoky note to the fragrance. This scent experience is further enhanced by the molecule amber extreme. So we see a similar pattern in the formula of the first, the second, and the third. Fruit is a great introduction. It's always an introduction in most cases. The men's fragrance. Moving into the mid or the heart with something a bit more substantial is that saffron accord. And then of course the base is a combination of amber extreme, which is a very powerful resinous aroma chemical, along with a very woody, leathery, smoky oak wood accord. So we've got a lot of things going on. There's a lot of notes at play in this. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a linear fragrance, but it uses its simplicity to push its agenda. If you take all three fragrances together, smell them one right after the other, they smell very similar. It's just getting richer, deeper, and darker, basically. What is termed in the industry a true Les Parfums. So it's following the same formula. It's not a derivation of, it's not branching out into a new area. It's taking what it already does and just making it richer, deeper, darker, and in most cases, more mature. And that's the case with Les Parfums. It is a truly captivating scent, but in this case, it is the least aquatic version of Ocean than any previous version. It's the most masculine and manly version of Prada Luna Rossa Ocean to date. You've got this very fresh, fruity open that isn't overtly lemon, moves out of the way pretty quickly for this magnetic saffron accord that is a quick introduction to this woody, oaky, leathery, smoky. There's a lot of things going on here, and I think some people will be pleasantly surprised, hopefully, by the smoky background in this fragrance. So basically, the suede that you picked up in the first one, you pick up in this only by now. It definitely smells like an aged leather. There's a little bit of smoke, a lot of woods, and this aged leather sitting right on top. And it's super pleasant smelling, and it's the longest lasting so far. The first two produced pretty good results in terms of performance. This one beats them both, which is not surprising since it's a Les Parfums higher concentration of oils. There is a bit of sophistication not only going on in the formula itself, but that in turn makes the aroma feel a bit more sophisticated. So it is a bit dressed up even. And that is the way with most of the Luna Rossa line, like Luna Rossa Black. It's just something that feels good with a suit and tie on. While you can definitely wear it in any kind of clothing, casual clothing's okay, a lot of fragrances will kind of break off and back up when you put a tie on. This has a formal bearing about it, a definitive formal bearing, but in a very mature, masculine way, owing to the whole leathery feel to it, that smoky background, all enhanced by the aroma chemicals used in the base. Overall, I think you can wear this anytime as a signature scent. However, I feel like it is the least, even as it's going deeper into the ocean, as it were, it's the least aquatic out of the three. It has the least aquatic feel. Instead of just a casual grab and go, this is a bit more of a serious or mature man's fragrance. At least that's my first impressions. I'm still building on that symbiosis, as it were, me wearing it and it kind of telling me where it's going as a fragrance. So I'll give you guys a full rundown and a full review. But for now, on my first impressions, I'm quite impressed. I think this is the best so far, as it should be, with a fragrance of this concentration and the money that you spend. It's been out long enough to be at discounters, and so you can find it at discounters. If you would prefer to make payments through Klarna or Afterpay, something like that, you can get it at Macy's and other retail outlets. The answer to which is the best really is going to be up to you and what you want it to do, how you want it to perform, and what it is that you're looking for. We'll go into that in another video, but for now, how I feel about this is for those of you that are looking for a mature signature scent that's not necessarily an aquatic fragrance, is a very woody, oaky, lightly smoky scent scent that definitely defies expectations a little bit, then you might want to check out a sample of this before you buy a full bottle, and I definitely think it's worth owning. It's one of those hyper versatile fragrances that it isn't a fall fragrance, it's not a seasonal fragrance, it is an everyday wear. So they did ride that fine line for a versatile, or what we term in the community a hyper versatile fragrance. Hyper versatile simply means you can wear it in any kind of weather and it's not pigeonholed by a particular aroma or a heavy weight or spices that make it a cool weather fragrance only. Any day, any weather, anywhere, and pretty much any time, although it does have a bit more of a formal bearing. They really knocked it out of the park in terms of versatility. That definitely will open it up for a lot more people as opposed to a fewer. That is a wrap on my first impressions of Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum. You should check it out if you get a chance. Please try a sample first, of course, before blind buying or going all in, because I think you'll find better results with a little bit of experience. Speaking of experience, let everyone know in the comments below what you think of this fragrance, or really any in the line, which is your favorite. Certainly appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. As always, thank you so much for your continued support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video review.